Welcome to Stick Shift Hot Wheels. Today I'm going to show you how to identify if you have found a Hot Wheels Super Treasure Hunt. I will go over the various differences between the cards themselves and the differences in the actual cars as well. But just a little bit of a backstory, if you don't know what a Super Treasure Hunt is in the Hot Wheels world. It's a limited edition car that's found in the regular Hot Wheels cases of 72 cars. And each year there's one Super Treasure Hunt model per case, so each case is a different card they choose to feature as a Super Treasure Hunt. So the A case has one, B case has one, C case has one, etc., all the way to the Q case. So first, I'm going to talk about the differences in the cards themselves. So the car on the left is the mainline version, and it is painted in gloss orange. So the main lines are normally painted either just a gloss color, or they're painted a pearl color or a metallic color. And so obviously the mainline car features plastic wheels, has all the tampos, everything, and the card art shows the car with the color of the car and kind of a generic wheel. Now the Super Treasure Hunt card essentially looks almost the same, but there are a few key differences in the card itself. So the main difference on the card is that it shows a different wheel design that mimics the wheels that are on the Super itself, and also it's very subtle, but the color of the car on the card matches the Spectraflame paint of the Super Treasure Hunt. So it's a darker orange in this case. But when you're looking in the store, sometimes you could overlook that small feature. But the main standout to know that you got a Super Treasure Hunt without looking at the car itself, underneath the card, there's a gold flame logo there, and that's the Super Treasure Hunt symbol. If you found a car with that gold flame behind the car on the card, then you have, my friend, a very rare Super Treasure Hunt. So those are the differences between the cards. The back of the cards are exactly the same. No way to tell if it's a Super from the back. To explain the differences in the actual cars themselves, I thought I would show you a different Super Treasure Hunt and its mainline equivalent, just so you can get an idea of kind of some of the differences between the paint colors from the mainline and the Super Treasure Hunt. And this is the Hot Wheels 62 Corvette. It is known by many to be one of the holy grails in this Super Treasure Hunt world. Many people have it in their top 5. It's my favorite Super Treasure Hunt of all time. It's the first Super Treasure Hunt that I purchased because I love the casting, and teal is one of my favorite colors. I purchased it loose. There's actually a scratch there on the roof, but that's okay. Here's the differences between the cars themselves and how to identify them. First off, both cars will be painted a similar color. So for example, with this Corvette, if the main line is painted teal, the Super Treasure Hunt is going to be painted teal, but it's going to be a Spectraflame teal. And the Spectraflame colors are always darker for the most part. There's a few exceptions with a few paint colors than the mainline equivalent. But as you can tell, it's a lot richer. The Spectraflame paint, if you don't know, is a clear paint, so you see the raw metal of the car through the paintwork, which I think is really awesome. Now, there is a Treasure Hunt logo on the Super Treasure Hunt cars. It is a TH Tampo somewhere on the vehicle. And then in some cases, the Super Treasure Hunt will have added tampo designs to the car. So that's another big giveaway, is if the car looks like it has extra design on it, it could be something special. So with the 62 Corvette, you see this teal car has no tampos on the top of the car. So obviously the hood and the trunk is clean. But the Super Treasure Hunt has these added dual stripes in white that look absolutely fantastic. Now, both cars have the same tampos on the sides. The main thing is the Spectraflame paint, but the other main giveaway, and this is the hallmark of the Super Treasure Hunt, is the Super Treasure Hunts all have Real Rider tires. Every single one of them. It's what makes a super a super. And what a Real Rider tire is, if you don't know, or a Real Rider wheel is Real Riders feature rubber tires, and most of them have actual printed tread on the tires, and then they feature a spoked wheel design of some kind. Here you see a torque thrust 5-spoke wheel. On the Lamborghini Miura here, you see a classic knockoff style wheel. But Hot Wheels has made a lot of different rims for the Real Riders. Sometimes, obviously, both of these cars, the wheels are chrome. But other times, the wheels are a completely different color. For example, I have the Greenwood Corvette here, and the main line on the left features gold chrome 5-spoke wheels. The Super on the right features these mini light wheels in gold, and there's no chrome on it. So obviously the Real Rider for this car has thicker, meatier tires. One other thing that I just noticed reviewing these cars today that I didn't notice before was obviously all these cars have plastic bases. So here's this mainline Corvette has a black base. So I was assuming that the Super Treasure Hunt was going to have a black base. But surprise, surprise, the Super has a gray base. And I honestly am puzzled. I don't know why the base is a different color. There's no need for it to be a different color in this case. Now, if you look at the Lamborghini Miura that uses the base as part of the bumper here to match the paint color, they had to change the color of the base to match the Spectraflame paint the best I could. They kind of got it pretty well. It's pretty well done. It's not perfect. The last difference, and this is a difference that you probably won't even perceive. I learned after some research of weighing a few of my cars that a Super Treasure Hunt with the Real Rider tires weighs a few grams more than the mainline equivalent. So what that means is if you're looking for cars and you're searching through the pegs, the Super Treasure Hunt is going to weigh more in your hand. It's going to be just slightly heavier, just a little bit. Now, when you're flipping through the pegs, that's not going to help you, but if you have the cars, you know, in your hand or something, you could kind of tell that one is a little bit heavier than the others. But I just thought that was an interesting difference as well that other people might not pick up on unless you weigh these cars. So those are the ways to identify if you have found a Super Treasure Hunt amongst the Hot Wheels mainline cars for the year. And these mainline cars, there's 4 of them to a case. Now, if you found a Super in one of the cases, then that means you'd only have 3 of these per case and 1 Super in its place. Now, the Super Treasure Hunt is super rare, and I don't know if I can confirm this. The rumor has it that some people are saying that you'll find a Super Treasure Hunt in 1 out of every 15 cases that you open. And, you know, if you go to a Target they may order 2 cases of cars, which is not very many cars, so your chances of finding a super are difficult. If you go to a store that ordered 5